Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am right now, it's pretty cold. And with that in mind, today I've got for you guys my 10 choices for the best designer fragrances for this winter, 2024/2025. Everything I talk to you guys about here today is gonna be linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. And I've also got a little giveaway for you also. Yeah, just a little something for one of you out there to carry you through this winter. And before we hop into that list, guys, here are a bunch of codes that you can use to save money across a multitude of different websites. And these websites cover pretty much everything. Niche fragrances, designer, clone fragrances, discounters, it's all there. So if you've never shopped at any of those websites, feel free to check them out and use those codes when you check out to save a little money. All right, fragrance time. So I've got a kind of a mix here. Some of these fragrances are really new. Others have been around for a minute, but I think all of these during wintertime are gonna set you apart. They're gonna have you smelling absolutely fantastic. A lot of these are big compliment pullers. They project heavily. They're gonna get you noticed. They're gonna cut through the cold. Let's go ahead and get things kicked off with an honorable mention. There's only one, and then we're gonna be into the official top 10, but that honorable mention is this. Dior Homme Intense. I think this stuff smells absolutely amazing. The reason it's not in the top 10 is because this is a fragrance that I'm gonna use more in formal situations, special occasions. It's not really something that I typically would wear day to day. And for most people out there, they wouldn't wear it that way either. Now, of course, there are gonna be some people that do, and more power to you, but for your average person, they would smell this, and even if they love the fragrance, like me, they'll think, yeah, but when do I wear it? So it is very strong, extremely high quality. Again, I think it smells absolutely amazing. As far as just the smell itself, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time, period. It's a very iris forward fragrance, kind of a creamy, lipsticky, makeup-y iris. There's also ambrette in here. Pear has a little touch of sweetness off the top that carries through into the mid. Extremely classy, elegant, sophisticated, mature. But like I said, as far as a day-to-day fragrance, it's really not made for that. So honorable mention, Dior Homme Intense. Honestly, even if I don't find a situation to wear it, I'll end up spraying it on a tester strip just so I can smell it. It's not gonna get quite as much wear as everything else in the list. All right, number 10, the official list. This one is from Montblanc, and it's a new release from 2024. It's this one, Extreme Leather. This one is from a collection of fragrances that has 4 different scents, and none of them have really taken off in a big way as far as getting talked about a lot, getting hyped or anything like that. But Extreme Leather is really, really well done. It retails for 140 bucks, which looking at this, you would probably think it would be actually more expensive than that, because this is, at least to me anyway, essentially their signature line of fragrances, right? And usually those would be much more expensive than 140 bucks, or at least that's how it's presented, as kind of a signature collection. And you can actually find this at discounters already for about 85, so even cheaper still. The first time I smelled this was actually in London. I was smelling through a bunch of different fragrances, and this was one of them. And it smells absolutely divine if you're somebody who likes iris. Yeah, iris again. I know the name is Extreme Leather, and there is leather there, but it's not really an extreme leather, if I'm honest with you guys. Like on the box, it says Extreme Leather, and then underneath that it says Smoked Iris. And that's actually a little bit more accurate. So there's leather, iris, and musk in this one. And you could draw some comparisons to some other iris fragrances out there. Prada L'Homme Intense a little bit. You know, maybe Gentleman Eau de Parfum. Like I said, a few different fragrances actually. When you smell this iris, it's kind of interesting because it smells similar to a number of other things out there, but not a one-to-one with any of them. But it does remind me, I guess, a little more so as to what Prada may do with a leather iris fragrance, which they did with Prada L'Homme Intense, which is why I brought that one up. Sexy, classy, sweet, a little bit creamy. It's actually not super strong, but it still works very well. So it lingers for a long time. You know, the longevity is good. It's just the projection is not beastly. So the name here might not be entirely accurate. Like I said, there is leather here. It's just not at all what I would consider extreme leather. Because when you say that, you know, I start thinking about some funky animalic stuff going on. This is very clean, like I said, classy, sexy. So extreme leather, number 10. This next one is not in the official top 10 because I'm biased. It's one of my fragrances. It is West Loop, which you can see over here with my other fragrances, South Slope, Jet Black Enigma, Terra Nova, and Edgewater. I have been wearing West Loop a lot. And so if this list was just what I'm wearing the most, probably be this. But like I said, this is my fragrance, so I can't really, you know, put this at number 1 and be like, oh, look at my fragrance, it's number 1. But West Loop I've been wearing a lot. Compliment monster, smells amazing in the air. So this one has notes of almond blossom, toasted cinnamon, vanilla orchid, some myrrh, lavender, tobacco leaf, and tonka as well. And this is a fragrance actually that women like to love also. So it works for just about anybody. And this is what I'll be giving away, a full box of this. I've got a few of them because, again, it's my fragrance. So West Loop, I'll give away a box of this, and I'll throw in a box of Jet Black Enigma also, because that one really, really good for winter time. So stay tuned for that. I'll do that giveaway a little later in the video and just sit this here for now. Number 9 in the list is the Scent Elixir from Hugo Boss. And this is a fragrance that my wife absolutely loves, which never hurts. Has a really simple note breakdown: lavender, red pepper, sandalwood, pretty much it. Interestingly, Meninka, which is in just about every The Scent fragrance, is not in the official note breakdown, but you can still get a little bit of that vibe in here because it wouldn't be a The Scent without it. Also has a little bit of a vanilla sort of sweetness to it, not as much as the Scent Magnetic that came before it, because again, this has sandalwood that kind of takes a bit of the place of that vanilla, but you still have some nice sweetness here from the opening into the mid and the dry down. And that really pleasant, fresh, peppery, sweet pop off the top, but it's also very clean as well. And for most people, this is gonna be something that flies way under the radar. Not many people are gonna be wearing this one, or frankly, this one, or this one, but they smell amazing. They set you apart, like I said at the beginning of the video. That's kind of what I'm after a lot of times. Yes, I do still enjoy, and you'll see, fragrances that are much more popular, the ones that just work. Sometimes I want something that's a little bit more unique, but still has that versatility. Number 8 is Armani Code Eau de Parfum, the new 2024 iteration. So it has to come in this bottle style because the previous Armani Code Eau de Parfum does not smell the same as this Armani Code Eau de Parfum. And this one actually smells a bit more similar to Armani Code Profumo that came before it and has been discontinued. So they basically discontinued what Armani Code Eau de Parfum used to be, and then they tweaked and changed a little bit what Code Profumo used to be and put it into this new bottle and named it Code Eau de Parfum. Yeah, Armani has done a lot of stuff this year, like we've talked about in multiple videos. So this has green mandarin, nutmeg, and tonka. Very simple note breakdown. It's gonna give you a fizzy sort of opening, almost like a carbonated beverage with some warm spices and sweetness in there. And that warmth and sweetness carries through into the dry down, makes it a very sexy fragrance, great versatility during winter. It's a good daytime fragrance, good evening fragrance. It just smells fantastic. And if you're a fan of Code Profumo, or even like Code Absolu that came before, which again are now discontinued, your best bet in the Giorgio Armani Code line right now, if you want something that smells similar to those, is this. Number 7 is Mugler's Amen Phantasm. So this is a new release for this year. Mugler has brought back the Amen line, finally. And when it first dropped, there were some people who were disappointed with this one. They thought it didn't, push the boundaries far enough. It wasn't good enough, basically, to be an Amen flanker, but I actually think it smells really good. It's most similar to Pure Tonka, which obviously is discontinued, but that was an earlier release in the Mugler Amen line. There's also a little bit of the original Amen DNA in this fragrance. It's definitely easier wearing than the original Amen. It's not as harsh, it's not as abrasive, not as in your face. It's a little bit smoother, a little sweeter, and like I said, a bit closer to Pure Tonka overall. So this one has notes of pink pepper, chocolate, patchouli, clary sage, and bergamot. And it's actually absurdly cheap as far as full retail goes. You can get this one for $90. That's for this size, 100 mils. If you get the smaller size, 60 bucks. Now I know for a lot of people out there, they're like, 60 bucks still isn't cheap, but we're talking retail prices. And 60 bucks for a brand new fragrance at full retail is crazy cheap when you have some fragrance houses out there asking like 180 bucks or more. And I gotta say, I'm excited that they brought the Amen line back because yeah, not every single Amen flanker was a hit, but some of them were just absolutely amazing. Pure Malt, Pure Havane, Ultra Zest, Pure Tonka, which again, this one is kind of similar to. And so if this brings the line back and we start getting new fragrance releases every year, I feel like it's just a matter of time before we start getting some of those bangers out again. Not saying necessarily to re-release them, but just something that really captures your attention. And at that price point, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, it gives me Pure Tonka vibes, chocolatey, sweet, warm, sexy, and absolutely worth every penny. Number 6 is Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum. This is my favorite in the Hero line. I think if you're gonna get just one, it's gotta be this one. This one has benzoin, pine, incense, and 3 different types of cedar. So it's a very woodsy fragrance. It's what you would expect an Eau de Parfum flanker to be. It's a little bit darker, richer, a little bit bolder than the Eau de Toilette. It's very masculine and has maturity to it without it coming across smelling old. It just smells classy instead. Younger guys can wear this, so can middle-aged guys, older guys. It's one of those ones that during wintertime, you can wear this anytime you want. And because of that benzoin and that little bit of smoky incense that it has, it makes it a perfect evening fragrance. It's super sexy, big compliment puller, and sometimes gets overlooked a little bit, at least as far as the fragrance community goes, because the Hero line hasn't always been the most popular within the fragrance community. But Hero Eau de Parfum, this stuff slaps. It is extremely well done. We are in the top 5, and coming in at number 5, Stronger With You, absolutely. So this one has rum, vanilla, chestnut, cedar, and lavender, and this is my personal favorite in the Stronger With You lineup. I thought about going with Stronger With You leather, Stronger With You oud, but just kept coming back to this one. Has great performance, an amazing date night fragrance. Honestly, just a really good evening fragrance in general. I wouldn't go crazy heavy with it if I were going out on a date, just because it does have very strong performance. It projects heavily, lasts a long time, and most of the time when you're going on a date, you don't want to like absolutely crush and overwhelm the person you're with, so keep that in mind. It has that Stronger With You DNA. You can tell immediately what this is, and that bit of golden rum that it has just elevates the fragrance for me. That extra bit of boozy sweetness really helps this capture attention. Number 4 is Dior Sauvage Elixir. Remember what I was talking about before? How this is so cheap? Amen Phantasm? Yeah, Sauvage Elixir at full retail is pretty expensive. So for the 60 ml size here, it is 180 bucks. And if you get the 100 ml size, it's gonna be more than that still. How much more expensive? Well, $255 for a 100 ml size bottle. That being said, you can find it at discounters for a little bit less. It'll still be expensive, but it won't be that expensive. Note breakdown wise, this one has nutmeg, cinnamon, licorice, sandalwood, lavender, and amber, among other notes. And it's an extremely masculine, woody, spicy fragrance that has aspects of fragrances from the past done in a very modern and high-end way. Sauvage Elixir projects heavily. This is something that will last a long time, and I'm tasting it in my mouth right now. Oh, don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Don't spray, talk, and walk, okay? Amateur mistake. Yeah, it lasts a long time, projects very heavily, and this is one that I think during fall and winter, if you want a fragrance that has a sophistication to it, but at the same time is very bold and brash, that can come across with an air of maturity and class, but at the same time has like a very sexy edge to it. Sauvage Elixir is something you've got to know about. Smells fantastic. Number 3, Boss Bottled Absolute from Hugo Boss, another new release from this year. So no breakdown wise, this has leather, incense, patchouli, myrrh, davana, and cedar. And it's a little bit similar to Boss Bottled Elixir, which also smells amazing. Boss Bottled Absolute is not quite as woody spicy as Bottled Elixir is. This one has more of a sweetness to it. It smells killer. It has like a little chocolatey aspect to it. To me, at times, it has a tobacco leaf aspect to it, even though neither of those are official notes. It's got a great resinous sweetness with a little balsamic touch to it. It's attention grabbing, it's elegant, it's powerful, it smells amazing. I will say though, for much younger guys, this is not gonna have the same kind of sweetness as like Stronger With You, or Phantasm even, or Code Eau de Parfum, or Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum. And those fragrances, if you're like a teenager or early 20s, would probably work better for you. Or this one, this would work too. Invictus Victory Elixir from Paco Rabanne. That one, if you're younger, absolutely will crush it. Also, if you're middle-aged or older, it doesn't matter. Everybody loves that. So no breakdown-wise. This one has vanilla, tonka, lavender, cardamom, and incense. And this is another one that is very, very strong. It has a bunch of vanilla, which I think is just perfect. The way that it comes across here, it sparkles. It has like an effervescent spiciness to it. It's got bits and pieces of a bunch of different fragrances out there. You know, a little Le Beau Le Parfum in here, the original Invictus Victory, Pure Excess from Paco Rabanne, just a lot of different things. But the way that it's done is just amazing. This is one of my most complimented fragrances ever since this came out. Every fall and winter, I wear this stuff out. I think this is, at least for now, my favorite Paco Rabanne on the market, probably. It depends on what mood I'm in, but probably. Just extremely well done. If you're a fan of vanilla at all, you'll probably love this. All right, before we do the number one, let's do the giveaway. So again, West Loop and Jet Black Enigma, which is over here. And Jet Black Enigma, that one very woody, spicy. Some of the notes in that one: ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, saffron, vanilla, oud, and tonka, among other notes. But in order to be entered in the giveaway, you have to like the video, you have to be subscribed to the channel, you have to leave a comment, those three things. In the comment, just let me know which fragrance you're looking forward to wearing most this winter. That's all you gotta do. Doesn't have to be any of these, it can be whatever. And give me at least a couple weeks, I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, throw it up on the community tab of the YouTube channel. If you're the winner, just hit me up with your address and I will ship those out to you. Good luck, guys. And also, if you wanna check those out, any of my fragrances, they're available in every Perfumania and every fragrance outlet store in the country. So you can walk in, check them out in store, or you can order them online at Nordstrom or Michael Malloy's website, which is also linked in the description. All right, number one fragrance, the most wanted Parfum from Azzaro. Note breakdown on this, frankly, is awful. Ginger, woods, vanilla. That's pretty much it. The fragrance itself, though, amazing. Also, the most wanted Eau de Parfum Intense, very, very, very good. And you may be thinking to yourself, where's Le Male Elixir? Where's Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense? Those were in my fall top 10. I didn't want to repeat them in my winter, so that's why they're not here. But I might wear those too. And by might, I mean I will. So this one, just in the air, lights out. Massive, massive attention grabber. Amazing performance. Has a great sweetness off the top. Technically, the ginger is a red ginger note, and that sweet ginger melds together with a very lightly smoky woody note. And then the vanilla here comes across a little reminiscent of like the Stronger With You line. Not super close, but a little bit more similar to that. And this is one that's grown on me consistently. I really enjoyed it when it first came out, but it's just as you wear it more, when it starts to get cold outside, you just keep reaching for it and keep reaching for it. And it's like you have to almost tell yourself, like, oh, don't wear it again. Like, you've worn it 3 times in a row, wear something different. And it doesn't hurt, like I said, that it has a great compliment factor, that it projects, it lasts, so you don't have to worry about reapplying or anything like that. Just a perfect wintertime fragrance, the most wanted Parfum. My number one for this year. So there we go, guys. There is my top 10, technically 12. It just sounds nicer to say 10. Thank you all for hanging with me. Again, let me know your number one fragrance to be entered in that giveaway. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.